So Parasha's Behar and a bit of Bekhukosai, but mostly Behar. We're speaking about the law of Shemitah, and the commentaries explain that the reason was this is the mitzvah chosen when we're there at Mount Sinai is because this mitzvah is the mitzvah that really is the principal reason for us being kicked out into exile because we didn't keep the Shemitah, and it is in a way the most important mitzvah of all the mitzvahs in terms of our connection to Torah, connection to God, and us being in Israel. And the question is like, what does Shemitah has to do? Again, for those who are not familiar with Shemitah is at the end of 6 years in agriculture when we work the land. After the 6th year, the 7th year has to be a 1 year where we don't work the land at all, and nobody's allowed to take and reap the fruits. It's given to anybody. All the poor people can just come take the fruits, all that, and it's all the farmers on the land are not allowed to work the land, and basically they can't make a living out of it. And the promise from God is that if we do Shemitah, then we're gonna have double amount of food on the sixth of production on the 6th year, and therefore we'll have enough for the 7th and 8th year to survive without that. So what we have to understand is we as Jews, the reason why we're here is to pass a message to the nation. We are here to represent something and to be a light into the nation, right? That's our job as Jews, to infuse into the world certain concept, a certain level of spirituality, a certain level of information. And really, the Shemitah incorporates the highest level of understanding what it is to be Jewish and what it is to live as a human being on the highest level. So what's happening with Shemitah is that imagine an entire society that lives mostly through agriculture, and that entire society shuts down for 2 years. Basically the first year you don't touch the land, and the second you have to plant everything again, so you have 2 years with nothing. And if it's actually in the Yovel year, which is 50 years, because every 50 years then it's considered called Yovel, also we can work the land, and that'll be a total of 3 years of not being able to get food from using the ground. So what it means is that it's on the normal level, it's a complete disaster. It's a complete disaster because how can you have a society surviving for 3 years without all what the main economical way to live for the country? So the idea is that as Jews, we're not supposed to be normal, meaning we're supposed to be crazy. So what do I mean that as being normal, that's good for a non-Jew. Non-Jew, it's fine, he can be normal, so to speak. Nothing against being normal. But the idea of being a Jew, is that we're here to show a level of transcendence, a level of metaphysics, a level of science fiction, if I could say that. We are supposed to be the message that as human being, we can be here on earth and transcend the earth and live on the level that is spiritual, on the level where heaven and earth touch and the physical gets affected by the spiritual. Not only that, to show that spirituality is in this world, that this world has much more to offer than the physical that we see. So the idea is that this mitzvah, over all the mitzvahs, it's so big. It's the biggest public, so to speak, the biggest public expression of that. We're basically showing that even though we're going to go against the laws of nature, so to speak, we're not going to work for 2 or 3 years the land, and technically it will not make sense. The earth is going to react in a way, the physical, the material is going to react in a way because we follow this spiritual path, this cycle. So the physical is going to change its nature and give more at a certain time, and it's going to be on a whole different level of life. So when people are going to see that level of existence, they will look at those Jews for 2 or 3 years, nothing happens, and well, how is that possible? Then it's one of the biggest Kiddush Hashem, and we know Kiddush Hashem is the greatest mitzvah. What Kiddush Hashem means, we're making people aware that this God, this divine intervention there. And the mitzvah of Shemitah is every 7 years, so people will see that again and again and again. So we're waiting. So when as Jews we fail to do that, we fail to show the main message that Judaism has for the world. It means that we went on such a low level that we ourselves are not able to do that message. We're not able to live on that level, and therefore we lose the land, because the land of Israel is a land that reacts more than other lands to that spirituality, and that's where the experiment or the divine show, science fiction show can go. So this is why the mitzvah of Shemitah is so important, and why we were sent into exile, because we failed to pass that message, which is the main message of the Jewish people. So first, you have yourself to understand. We don't have Shemitah today, or at least we do, but not on a national level. It's not everybody is on the level to do it. It's a very hard level, and we're not all in the land with the temple, all that. But on the personal level, you have to create that little Shemitah. Meaning, on your personal level, you have to be able to choose to transcend on your own level in what you do. If normal is, for example, you give tzedakah, you give, charity. So if the normal way is to give this amount, so give more, transcend, be a Jew, to give more. If the normal way is to just give and say have a good day, then now don't just do that. Give, smile, speak to the person, and make sure that person is revived through your attention and your giving. You have to be a bit crazy. The non-Jews, they should not look at us as normal. They should look at us as intense or beyond, or people that transcends the natural way to be. And I'm not saying to be an extremist or a fanatic. I'm saying we have to transcend the good, meaning we have to be extremely good. We have to be great. This is what a Jew is. Jew has someone who has Brit Milah, which is the 8th day, which 8 represents above nature. So live a life that shows that it transcends. How come is this man so humble? How come is this woman so giving? How come is this, it's transcend the normal people, the normal way of people live? And that's how, as Jews, what we have to do. So find an area in your life. Start with one area where you transcend the natural way people behave. Because otherwise, you're wasting your whole Judaism. The whole wisdom of the Torah is to teach you all the commandments. It's not to just do what Hashem wants. It's to transform you to do things that are beyond the natural way of animal and human beings. So let us all take that to heart and transcend our nature and become a role model, a light unto the nations, so that the whole world can live again on a level that was like Adam and Eva in Gan Eden. Shabbat Shalom.